Let's take a breath together, shall we? Let's do that again. Tough week here on planet Earth, huh? Tougher for some of us than others. This is one of those times where you do a lot of research and a lot of planning for the talk, and then you show up and get out of the way. So, God only knows what I'm going to say, and let's find out, shall we? So we're winding up our month-long theme of listen to your heart. We started with exploring the seat of the soul, which, let me remind you, is your life. You, me, all of life is the seat of the soul. The soul is the activity of the divine, and we are that in form. And then we explored listening to our heart, as opposed to listening to our head and listening to our ego, but to do that inward journey, to listen deeply to the voice of the divine, to that activity of our soul that speaks to us and guides us into action. And then we explored the great work of your life, understanding that we are each amazingly individualized, unrepeatable expressions of a desire of the divine's heart. And so no two of us has the same work to do. And no matter what our individual work is, it's perfect and it's divine and it's holy and sacred. And so to empower ourselves to do what is ours to do. And then last week we talked about the path made clear and the activity of faith that literally requires us to step onto the next spot on the path, even when we cannot see the path beneath our feet. That it invites us to know, to live the activity of faith, that the path is being cleared and prepared as we pick our foot up, and it's ready when we put our foot down. That it's not ours to get a roadmap for the rest of this earthly life. That requires no faith. And today, the topic is these hands. Now, metaphysically, the hands represent a lot of things. Mostly they represent power. They represent activity. See, the divine, God, Spirit, whatever you call it, is infinite possibility, unformed infinite possibility. It has no body other than ours. And it is everybody in form. And so our hands are the hands of the infinite. The work that we do, the action that we take, not always specific to the hand in terms of the physical hand, but metaphysically, symbolically, the hand is the doer, is the action. And how perfect a time for us to take a daring, courageous look at what is ours to do. What are we allowing the infinite to inform, and are we following those divine nudges to take action. Some of it might be our hands to hold up a sign. Some of it might be your hand to write a letter. It might be your hand to pick up the phone and call somebody. It might have been your hand this morning to log into your computer to share this time. St. Teresa of Avila says this: Christ has no body now but yours. No hands, no feet on earth but yours. Yours are the eyes through which he looks compassion on this world. Yours are the feet with which he walks to do good. Yours are the hands through which he blesses all the world. Yours are the hands, yours are the feet, yours are the eyes. You are his body. Christ has no body now on earth but yours. And in Science of Mind, we understand the Christ to relate to the consciousness, that human expression of infinite consciousness that never forgot who he was. And maybe it's just me, but that's kind of been my life journey, is to remember what Christ never forgot, who I am in form. And perhaps you're sharing that journey. Perhaps you too sometimes get sidetracked and get distracted by the activity of humanity and forget the divinity that you are. Forget the power that you are. Forget the creative power that is the very essence of your being. See, if we could just remember that we are infused with infinite possibility, that the very power that created us, we have the power to create with. If we will just remember that this ugly thing called racism is within our power to heal. It's within our power to heal. This is a new quote. Two new quotes from Ernest Holmes that I was not aware of. And thank you, Reverend Dr. Edward Fillion, our Centers for Spiritual Living spiritual leader, for posting these on your Facebook page. I do not think we should make such a claim to divinity that we forget we are human. Ernest Holmes. How often, if we're being honest, how often do we default to our divinity as spiritual bypass to avoid our humanity? It's time we tell the truth, because if we can't identify it, we can't heal it. I was having a conversation with somebody earlier this week about just this, and how we either sidestep or we fall into blame. And what came to me was imagining how it would be if I rolled into the emergency room of a hospital with an appendicitis, and instead of identifying my appendicitis and treating my appendicitis, the nurses and doctors and hospital staff surrounded me and said, well, we know you're whole, perfect, and complete, so this will take care of itself. Or they divvied up into little pods to argue about whose fault it was that my appendix was inflamed. Literally in the physical realm, I would die while they ignored the condition in my physical body that needed to heal. people are dying. Our black kin are dying because we continue to ignore the condition that is operating and has been operating for 400 plus years. Our teaching doesn't say we don't live in condition. Quite frankly, it says that we change condition through the use of mind. We change condition. Now, in order to change it, we have to identify what it is we need to change. Because if I'm going in with an appendectomy and they're looking at my foot, I'm still in trouble. Yes? And so perhaps now is the time. Perhaps now is the time to dive into the discomfort of identifying what needs to be healed. To identify our role, how we are going to use the divinity within us to be a part of the healing. Ernest Holmes also said this: "It is a popular belief that those who practice this science are a class of people who declare that everything is perfect when, as a matter of fact, everything in the objective experience of the race is not perfect, and indeed is far from being perfect. This popular idea of the practice of spiritual science is entirely a misconception. A religious scientist is not one who assures themselves that wrong is right." Reverend Dr. Ernest Holmes. My challenge to us this morning is to embrace our own teachings in a new way. We're new thought. Let's have one. Let's have a new thought about how it is that we're using this creative process within us. Let's have a new thought, folks, that empowers every healing cell of our being to heal this world we live in. You don't have to be against anything to be for the equitable, loving, fair, humane treatment of everything. You don't have to sacrifice anything to love radically every expression of the divine's heart. You don't have to give up one shred of your magnificence to recognize and celebrate the expression of divinity and magnificence in every other expression. You don't have to give anything up. That's a lie. And it's a lie that keeps us stuck. The cells in my toenail give up nothing to the cells in my liver to make my body whole. We're talking about making the body of the infinite whole. I don't know about you, but I know that what's happening is out of alignment with principle because my heart hurts witnessing it. See, that's the infinite. That's the activity of the soul. We are the activity of creation. We are the soul of God. And when it is out of alignment with itself, it clues us in by the pain we feel. There's power in pain. There's brilliance in pain. If we will just learn to stop running from it. Just stop. Embrace it. Learn from it. And just ask, what is mine to do? We go back to the discussion last week. The path made clear. You don't have to know how to do it. We go back one other week. The great work of your life. Maybe what is yours to do is raise children that have a different conversation about race. Maybe what is yours to do is to educate children in our school system about the truth of our history. Maybe what is yours to do is to put on a sidearm and body armor and a badge and protect and serve the public in a way that protects and serves every member of the public equally. Maybe that's what is yours to do. I don't know what is yours to do. I know some of the things that are mine to do, but I also know they change, because I have within me this divine ability to respond. I am a center of infinite responsibility, the ability to respond. And so it requires conscious, intentional, spiritual practice to consistently pay attention, to be open, and to be guided. As our affirmation said, love guides me into divine right action. And so I invite you this morning to find whatever spiritual practice is yours, to sincerely let yourself be guided by that inner voice. Feel your humanity. Feel all of it. It's important. It's part of the process. I'm going to close again with the words of my sister, my friend, my beloved Tracy Brown, licensed practitioner. If this breaks your heart, break the pattern of race-based hatred. Break the system that allows it to be. Break the silence you have hidden behind for so long. Grieve the loss of another black man. Grieve the loss of respect and justice. Grieve the loss of your own innocence. Grieve. Then get to work. If this breaks your heart, break the pattern of race-based hatred. Break the system that allows it to be. Break the silence you have hidden behind for so long. Speak up for those who have been ignored. Speak up for systems that are fair. Speak up as a person who cares about all people. Speak up for the kind of world you want to see. If this breaks your heart, break the pattern of race-based hatred. Break the system that allows it to be. Break the silence you have hidden behind for so long. Demand justice. Demand accountability. Demand respect. Demand self-involvement. If this breaks your heart, break the pattern of race-based hatred. Break the system that allows it to be. Break the silence you have hidden behind for so long. Commit to becoming a voice for change in your own city, in your own neighborhood, in your own family. If this breaks your heart, break the pattern of race-based hatred. Break the system that allows it to be. Break the silence that you have hidden behind for so long. Knowing there is only one infinite everything, I allow the words spoken here today to be this prayer. I allow my breath to breathe for those who no longer can. I allow my heart to beat in honor and for those whose heart no longer beats. I commit my human journey renewed to living love out loud boldly for every expression of this divine body of one. To celebrate every magnificent, individualized, unrepeatable expression of God itself in form. This is my demand on the universe. This is my yes to the soul activity within me. And so with deep gratitude for the privilege and the ability to say yes, to be the hands of the infinite, I release my word, knowing it is the word of the I am spoken, into the activity of completion. And simply be about the business of living the truth. And so it is. Oh, we got this, folks. We got this. Let's do it.